The first lesson is to be mentally strong, never to complain. And her life was one heck of a life to test that lesson. She was born and raised near Kharkov, which is a Ukrainian city close to Russia. In her childhood, she lived through and survived Goldomor, which is a famine in the early 30s, 1932, 1933, that Stalin had inflicted on his own people, where millions of people have died. One of the great atrocities of the 20th century. Just to give you some context, the famine that we're talking about led to cannibalism. One historian has written that the good people died first. The people who gave food to others, the people who refused to participate in cannibalism, the people who gave everything they have to their children for the survival of their children, and therefore died before their children did. I'll leave it at that. My grandma survived it. And as a teenager, she lived through and survived World War II. Imagine a young teenage girl, a beautiful young woman in fascist-occupied city. She rarely spoke of those times, but there were stories of no food, desperation, and tragedy. And once again, I'll just leave it at that. My grandmother survived. And in her eyes always remained this glimmer of hope amidst the suffering. It's a glimmer that I've seen in the eyes of others that I've met in my life. And it is always inspiring to see that triumph over tragedy. And there's something that kind of experience does to the human heart. It hardens it, it protects it from the outside world, but it also softens it to allow a deep connection with other human beings. And maybe you've seen that I've done a few things with David Goggins, and I'm drawn to that kind of mindset. In him, I see my grandmother, the toughest human being I've ever known.